From the Sony Pictures Studios, this is Jeopardy!
Please welcome today's contestant. Player one. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Hey, Johnny Gilbert. How is everyone today? You look eager to get underway, so let's get right into it. The categories are American history, I Want to Be, arachnids, Ain't We Got Pun, myths and legends, and I Need More Space. Okay, let's get back into this. Player one, you make the next selection as we continue. After General Cornwallis surrendered at Yorktown, this American traitor accompanied him back to England. Okay, player one, use the Wii remote or press the corresponding... Right. Player one, back to you for our next selection. In 1898, Americans were urged to remember the battleship named for this state. It sank in Havana Harbor. Player one. That is correct. Player one, you pick again, please. This January 1st, 1863 document liberated all slaves in regions still under Confederate control. Let's hear it, player one. Yeah! Good. We return to you, player one. The New Deal refers to the economic recovery and social reforms implemented by this U.S. president. Yes, player one. Good. Player one, you pick again, please. In 1609, this captain was injured in a gunpowder explosion and lost his leadership role in Jamestown. It's player one. Yep. Choose again, player one. One of these dancers, so I'm practicing my arabesques and pirouettes so I can perform with the Kirov. Yes, player one. Right. You again, player one. One of these, from the Greek for star sailor, like John Glenn or Buzz Aldrin. Okay, player one. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Here's the response we were looking for. An astronaut. We return to you, player one. One of these, and deal with the health problems of vicunas, pintos, and Great Danes. Player one? Yes. Player one, pick again. Like Martin Luther King and the Dalai Lama, and be honored with this humanitarian prize given in Oslo. Let's hear it, player one. That's it. Please pick again, player one. This, from the Greek for straight, and make some big bucks correcting crooked teeth with braces. Player one? You are correct. Player one, back to you for our next selection. This large, hairy type of spider takes its name from an Italian town. Let's hear it, player one. Yes. Player one, back to you. Texas cattle fever is one of many diseases transmitted by the bite of this type of blood-sucking arachnid. It's player one. No. Here's the correct response. The tick. You get to pick again, player one. At least two types of poison are known to be injected by its tail stinger, hemotoxin and neurotoxin. Yes, player one. That's right. Way to go. Select again. Also known as the Harvest Man, this spindly arachnid differs from spiders in that it has only a single body segment. Here's the correct response. The daddy longlegs. Choose again, player 1. Arachnids are a major class of this phylum that includes insects and crustaceans. Okay, player 1. Correct. Please pick again, player 1. A scholarly paper on punning restaurant names was titled, "Do Drop In" and "This Vegetable Entertain You." Yes, player 1. That is correct. You again, player 1. A presidential exhibit at the National Postal Museum was called "This to the Chief." Let's hear it, player 1. That's correct. Player 1, pick again. About comparing a pair of beetles, a punchline in Master and Commander is, "Choose the lesser of two these." Okay, player 1. That's correct. We return to you, player 1. 8 months pregnant, Jolie Fisher did a cabaret act entitled "From Here to This." Player 1. That's not it. The correct response is maternity. You get to pick again, player 1. Punning on Glenn Miller, a 1985 film with Gina Davis as a vampire was called "This 65000." Here's what we were looking for. Transylvania. Player 1, back to you. At KFC, you can lunch on chicken. At KSC, this place, you can lunch with an astronaut. It's player 1. Yeah! Good for you. Player 1, you pick again, please. This Mattel doll became an astronaut in 1965, perhaps inspiring the young Sally Ride. Okay, player 1. Correct. Select again. Now available again, Quisp, which has a space alien mascot, is a type of this breakfast food. Here's what we wanted. Cereal. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. Yeah! It's the Daily Double. And you have the lead. What are you going to wager? And the Daily Double clue. This TV series wasn't about the Swiss Family Robinson, but the Space Family Robinson. Right. Player 1, back to you. This 1956 film was a sci-fi version of The Tempest. Robbie the Robot was inspired by Ariel. We're talking about Forbidden Planet. We return to you, player 1. The earliest ballads of this outlaw say that his activities took place in South Yorkshire, not Nottinghamshire. Here's the response we were looking for. Robin Hood. You again, player 1. In some legends, it's the influence of the full moon that changes a man into one of these, also called a lycanthrope. Player 1? Woo! Yeah, good. You get to pick again, player 1. Let's take it over to Kelly.
According to Norse legend, to learn the secrets of the rune stones, this chief god hung himself from a tree.
Here's the correct response. Odin. Choose again, player 1. This steel-driving man beat a steam drill in a race to make a railroad tunnel, but died with his hammer in his hand. Let's hear it, player one. Right. And now the $1,000 clue. This hero of mythology cleaned the Augean stables by diverting the courses of 2 nearby rivers. The correct response is Hercules. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. And we have 2 daily doubles awaiting you in these categories. Catching some Z's. Note the quotation marks. 1907. Death of an author. Top 40 hitmakers. Insects. And beekeeping. Let's get back into this now. You have control of the board. This term for a group of bees refers specifically to the group that flies from the hive to form a new colony. It's player one. Yep. Player one, you pick again, please. Drones don't sting, and queens only sting other queens. So only worry about these bees, 95% of a hive's population. Yes, player one. Good. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Honey is produced by the evaporation of this drink of the gods that bees collect from flowers and then regurgitate. It's player one. That's right, way to go. Select again. Glands on a bee's abdomen convert the sugar in honey to this building material. Okay, player one. That is correct. Please pick again, player one. A major concern for beekeepers is CCD, this disorder. Let's hear it, player one. Here's the correct response. Colony collapse disorder. Player one, pick again. The finest singers among species of this insect are the tree type, not the house or field type. Player one. That is correct. You get to pick again, player one. It reached Texas from Mexico around 1890 and spread into most cotton-growing areas of the United States. Here's the response we were looking for. The boll weevil. Player one, pick again. Yeah! Answer, the first of the 2 daily doubles. You are in first place. What'll it be? Here is your daily double clue. Like 1990, 2007 was a year when these noisy insects famously swarmed the Midwest. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's what we were looking for. Cicadas. Please pick again, player one. Stoneflies belong to the order Plecoptera, which means pleated this. Here's what we wanted. Wing. We return to you, player one. 2 common shorthorn species of this in North America are the lubber and eastern lubber. We're talking about the grasshopper. Player one, you pick again, please. 12:30. Young girls are coming to the canyon. And California dreamin'. Here's the correct response. The mamas and the papas. Player one, back to you. Brother Love's Traveling Salvation Show. And Sweet Caroline. We're talking about Neil Diamond. Select again. What would you say? And Crash Into Me. Here's what we were looking for. The Dave Matthews Band. You again, player one. Saturday Night Special and woo, Free Bird. Here's the correct response. Leonard Skinnard. Choose again, player 1. Harry Truman and 25 or 6 to 4. The correct response is Chicago. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. She died on July 18, 1817, after dealing with some pride and prejudice in her day. Yes, player 1. Yeah, correct. You get to pick again, player 1. On September 28, 1891, he died in New York City after a whale of a life. Here's the response we were looking for. Herman Melville. Player 1, you pick again, please. No amount of electricity could reanimate her on February 1st, 1851. Here's what we wanted. Mary Shelley. Player 1, back to you. After October 19, 1745, he would make no more modest proposals. The correct response is Jonathan Swift. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. Answer. The other daily double. And you have the lead. Please enter your wager. Okay, here is the clue. It was this author, not the wallpaper, who went on November 30th, 1900. Right you are. Player 1, pick again. Florin Ziegfeld produced his first of these extravaganzas in 1907 and would continue them for the next 24 years. Here's what we wanted. The Follies. We return to you, player 1. For works like Gunga Din, he became the first Brit awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature. Here's the correct response. Rudyard Kipling. Please pick again, player 1. With this man as president, the government budget was $579 million, and unemployment stood at 2.8%. Let's hear it, player 1. That's it. You again, player 1. Charles Curtis, Republican, Kansas, became the first Native American to serve as one of these. It's player 1. That's correct. Select again. More than 40 nations attended the Second International This Conference in The Hague. Here's what we were looking for. Peace. Choose again, player 1. Each defender guards a section of the playing area in this system of sports defense. Here's the correct response. Zone. Player 1, pick again. This Italian squash can be eaten raw, steamed or grilled, or baked in a sweet bread. Okay, player 1. Good. Please pick again, player 1. Two-word term for the weightlessness experienced by astronauts in orbit. Yes, player 1. Yes. Select again. Here's Kelly to start us off.
It's the point on the celestial sphere vertically above a given position.
Player 1. Correct. And now the $2,000 clue. The Lozi people moved to higher ground during the annual flooding of this African river. Okay, player 1. Hey, you're right. You are moving on to Final Jeopardy, which will continue after these messages. We're back. The category for Final Jeopardy today is Traveling the Globe, What are you going to wager? Press the corresponding direction on the plus control pad to select your response. Here's the clue for you. Flying due west from Los Angeles, it's the first foreign country you would reach. Did you come up with the correct response? How much do you add to your total with that correct response? Congratulations to you, player one. So long.